Hello there, everybody. Welcome back to The Seasoned Vegan. My name is Kia, and today I'm going to teach you how to make this delicious vegan beef stroganoff. It is absolutely fantastic, and it's pretty easy to make, so I think this would be a good weeknight dinner for those of you that are looking for that. So if that's something you're interested in, keep on watching and consider subscribing. All right, the first thing that we're going to do is talk about all of the ingredients, and then we'll get into the step-by-step process, all right? So real fast, we're going to be using some wine. We've got our vegan beef broth, some vegan sour cream, a whole bunch of spices and seasonings, an onion, garlic, and thyme. And here is the Beyond Steak meat that I'm going to be using, but if you don't want to use that, you can also just use mushrooms, totally up to you. And for the pasta, I'm going to be using fettuccine, along with some vegan butter and oil. And here is the beef bouillon that I use. All right, so let's set all this aside and get into the step-by-step process. The first step is to chop our onion and our garlic. And luckily that is all the chopping that we're gonna have to do for this recipe, except for the thyme, the herb. I don't really think that counts because you're mostly just plucking the leaves and giving it a rough chop. Anyway, go ahead and chop your onion up and then your garlic, and we're gonna get this onion cooking. So what I'm doing is I'm putting some olive oil into the large pot here, and I'm gonna let that heat up just a little bit, and then I'm gonna put in my onions. There we go. So once all your onions are in, go ahead and give them a stir. Make sure that all of the onions are coated in olive oil and let them kind of sit there. And I have it on a medium heat, just so you know. Let them sit there for, I don't know, a couple minutes. And then what we're going to do is add in our vegan beef. Like I said, I'm using the Beyond Steak today. These are the plant-based seared tips. Here's the nutrition facts for anyone that's interested. And that's what they look like. So we're just going to throw all those in the pot. And what we want to do is brown this meat along with the onion. And we're also going to add in our garlic pretty soon here. But let's just let the meat and the onions cook together for a little moment. Let them get to know each other. And I love this Beyond Steak, by the way. I had a friend of mine put me onto this, and ever since I tried it, I've just been hooked. It's great for, like a vegan beef broccoli dish. It's great for a vegan stroganoff. Also like asada tacos. It's absolutely wonderful. So yeah, go ahead and give it a try if you haven't yet. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and put some salt into this pan, or pot rather. I like to season as I go. I think I've told you guys that time and time again. I'm probably just repeating myself a lot in these videos. I hope you guys enjoy nonetheless. All right, we're gonna hit it with some pepper as well. Give it a nice stir. And we're just gonna let this cook down. I want the onions to be pretty translucent. Pretty much getting there. Take a look. Delicious. All right, so now that those onions are looking pretty translucent, we're gonna add our garlic into this mixture. And now what we wanna do is just let everything brown, let everything really build up some good flavor. See the bottom of my pot here, how it's starting to get browned? That is all of our flavor concentrating there. And it's okay if it browns, a little too much, because we're gonna deglaze it. That's our next step. So here we go. Let's get our white wine, and we're going to use about a half cup of this white wine. As always, all of the measurements are going to be in the description below, so go ahead and check that out if you want to make this for yourself, and I hope you do, because it is so, so good. So here goes my white wine. Now I'm just going to scrape the bottom of this pan, and you're going to see how deglazing works. Isn't that cool? All that brown stuff is going to get picked up, and it's going to turn into incredible flavor that's going to get soaked up into our vegan beef and into our onions and our garlic, and it's just so good. So let's just let that cook down. We're going to let all that liquid cook off, and then we're going to add in our flour. And for the flour, I just like to sprinkle it right over the top. of everything in the pot. There we go. And now we're going to add our broth, our beef broth, and we're going to stir. And at this step, you do want to stir constantly. So like slowly add in a little bit of beef broth and stir and continue on until it's all gone. I used to help my grandma do this part. I would pour and she would stir, and I would pour and she would stir. So if you have help, go ahead and get some help. If not, you got this. So little by little, you'll get it done. Just keep constantly stirring at this part, because what we want is for the flour to help thicken this entire dish. So go ahead and bring it to a boil at this point, and that's just going to help everything thicken. We're going to let this cook for about 5 minutes, 4 to 5 minutes, until it's really nice and thick, and then we'll move on to the next step. All right, at this point now we're going to add in all of our seasonings. So I've got my salt. I have some Worcestershire sauce, W sauce, because it's so hard to say. We've got smoked paprika right there. This right here is Dijon mustard. Nope, I lied. That is not Dijon mustard. That is nutritional yeast. That's Dijon mustard. I just saw something yellow and I assumed. Oops. Anyway, those are the seasonings that I like to use in this dish. Go ahead and stir it in, get everything nice and blended together, and keep letting it cook down and thicken up. All right, we're going to turn it down at this point. It's looking nice and thick, looking like all of the seasonings have been nicely incorporated. So we're going to turn it down, and I'm going to add in my thyme at this point and my vegan sour cream. So there goes my thyme, and I love thyme. Thyme is my absolute favorite herb. I think it's so phenomenal. So anytime I can sneak it into a recipe, I do. And today I'm using the Tofutti sour cream. I like this one. It's pretty thick and it blends really nicely. It melts down nicely into a nice like stew or stroganoff or soup. I like to use it in dishes like this. There we go. If you don't want to buy store-bought sour cream, or you just don't have any on hand, you could also whip up a cashew cream, just with some apple cider vinegar, some water, and some cashews. And you could put that in there, or that in this dish as well. Maybe just like a half cup of that. But I find that the Tofutti sour cream works very well, and it makes a quick dinner. Sometimes you just want to make dinner and you want to make it fast, so you can go on and do whatever you have to do. I just wanted to play some Spyro, you guys. All right, so now I gave it a taste, and I decided that it needed a little more black pepper, so in the black pepper went. Giving it one more mix, and I think we're pretty much done at this point, which means we can move on to making our pasta. I like to serve my stroganoff with pasta, but you could also serve it with rice. You could serve it with mashed potatoes. Totally up to you. So we're going to boil and drain our pasta real quick. And like I said, I am using fettuccine today. Typically, stroganoff is made with egg noodles. I just couldn't find a good substitute for vegan egg noodles, so fettuccine it is. My boyfriend is not a fan of fettuccine or any type of like long pasta. I don't know. I am a huge fan of these type of pastas. Anyway, so he had his with garden rotini, and that worked out very well as well. So try whatever pasta you like. Anyway, here I'm hitting my pasta with some cold water because I want it to stop cooking. And I'm going back to my pot that the pasta was boiled in. I'm just going to throw in some butter and let it melt. The stove is not on at this point. It's still a little warm since I just cooked on it, but I just want to melt my butter a little bit to stir it into my pasta, because I do want my noodles to be buttered for this dish. Go ahead and give it a good mix. And if you pay attention, if you look closely in the background, you can see I've got some mushrooms going back there. My boyfriend's not a fan of mushrooms either, so I am making the mushrooms on the side. But I highly recommend making some mushrooms and putting them into the stroganoff, because I topped my stroganoff with these mushrooms, and my word, it was so good. You know, the mushrooms are actually so good that I'm gonna go ahead and share the recipe for those as well. So when you're looking in the description, look all the way at the bottom and you'll see the mushroom recipe as well, because it was so good, you guys. You need to have that too. So here's our stroganoff with the vegan beet poking through. Doesn't it look so good? And the thyme in there, creamy and just delicious and satisfying. Here are my delicious cremini mushrooms. I basically cooked these down in some butter and some thyme, and some garlic powder as well. And then I've got my pasta here. So let's dish up, guys. Look how delicious. So good. Easy dinner for you. All right, let's get this in a bowl. There we are. And I'm just gonna go ahead and garnish it with a little bit more thyme, because I really love thyme. I'm sure that you could also do parsley as a garnish as well. I think that would be pretty good. And then I recommend topping it to taste with a little bit more crushed black pepper. And bada boom, bada bang, you got yourself a delicious dinner. Take a bite and see how it is. I already know it's absolutely delicious. Kind of a spoiler there. But there we go. I just love like a creamy pasta dish with like some good protein in it and some good flavor. You really can't go wrong, especially in the winter time. In these colder months, it's just so good. But there we go. We got a perfect bite there. So delicious, and the flavoring is perfect. We've got our, our W sauce, Worcestershire sauce. I have such a hard time saying that. We've got our Worcestershire sauce. We've got our smoked paprika, the Dijon mustard. We've got some nutritional yeast in there. Really good flavor. Really good flavor. And don't forget, how could we? We've got our mushrooms here. Oh, you guys, I am such a fan of mushrooms. I just think that they are so darn good. You could also, instead of just topping this dish with the mushrooms, you could cook the mushrooms with the stroganoff if your household, if you have a mushroom loving household. But yeah, there we go. It's so dang good. So dang good. Oh, well, I mean, that's it for the recipe, you guys. Oh shit. I honestly thought I edited that out. Oopsie. Anyway, that's it for the recipe, you guys. Thank you so much for being here. I hope that you enjoy yourselves when you're making this. I hope I've inspired you to possibly make it, because it is so good. All right, so stay tuned to the channel, because later this week I'll be sharing my beet recipe, marinated beets. Bye!